Morning, sir.
Very good afternoon. Wait for a couple of minutes so others can join, then we'll start off.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Okay, it's like 12:02. So let's for like another 2 minutes so that others can join, then we'll start off. So I hope all of you have downloaded ZBrush now and installed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so yes. Okay. So now like another minute by the time I'll open some reference. Okay, we'll create this one. So in ZBrush, it's as all of you know, it's for high poly modeling and all. So for this particular module, we'll create a model. So for this model, I'm planning to create this model. In ZBrush, we won't touch any other software, Max or anything else. We'll create the entire thing within ZBrush. Like entire model or detailing, everything we'll do it in ZBrush only. So here, so to start ZBrush, like whenever you open ZBrush, by default, this window doesn't have anything. You can see edit and all these things are deactivated. You cannot do anything unless you open a preset tool or import something into ZBrush. You cannot start using ZBrush. So before starting anything, we are see like what kind of model we are going to create. Like this model we're going to create. So I can see the basic structure is a cylindrical shape. This part of the axe, this holding part, the wooden part, is basically a cylindrical shape. Then we have this boxy shape, and this is a triangular shape. So identify those shapes, and then we'll start off with our model. So how to do it? So this cylinder, this I can just simply start with a cylinder. Click on this simple brush, click on this, and we have a cylinder 3D. Click on this, still you can see nothing happens, only the option changes slightly. Just click on the screen and drag. If you hold shift, it will snap to the angle, or zoom in, zoom out, you can do it and create the basic shape. once you create the shape, you cannot modify it unless you click on edit. So make sure apply, create this shape and then go to edit. Now you can see the moment you go to edit, these two things popped up. That means now you are in a editable mode. You can editable mode, you will 3D space. See, now you can rotate the model and check. Left mouse button to rotate the model. Then Alt left mouse button to pan, and Alt right click to Alt and Control together, right click, zoom in, zoom out. So this makes your life way easier if you remember all these shortcuts. Because this is what I'm going to use most of the time in industry. Like most of the professionals, they use these techniques. They rarely use all these options. You have zoom in, zoom out, move, all these options here also. In case you forget, you can definitely use it from here. So now I have this cylinder, but to start with my modeling, I can see this length of this like handle is quite long. Just give me a second. There's some noise disturbance. I'll just close my door. Okay. So now I got the model. My model is ready. You can see its left view. You can snap to right front view. You can move it with the help of this also. Now the handle is quite long. So how can I do it? You can press W to activate the gizmo, or you can just switch it on and then elongate this thing. Control Shift, zoom out and make it decently long enough. Now I just created this thing, but for this shape to work, this is a 3D ZBrush model, but this is still not polygons. What you have to do, there is option called make polymesh 3D. So it will convert this geometry into a polymesh. So this is something, make sure whenever you're starting from a ZBrush surface, any model, you have to convert that into polymesh. Otherwise, it won't work. So then click on this. So you can see the moment you click on this, there are a lot of extra options appear on your screen. Because now it's a polygon. So now you can start working on this. So if you want to see the wireframe of this thing, that you can either do Shift F from keyboard or click on this line fill option to see your wireframe. Then click on, I'll change the material to gray because I don't like to use that red material. I always use this basic material too. So it's not mandatory, but it gives you better idea, like all the deformation and everything, because it's little glossy and it's gray in color. So you can see all the bump and tones and everything, like what is happening there very easily. So now my basic structure, you can see the basic structure is almost like the cylinder is ready, but here I can see in my front view, my cylinder is not straight. It's little angular. So what I'll do is for this, I'll create I'll just manipulate this shape and create this thing. So there are multiple ways of doing it. I'll show you a couple of ways. Like the base, you can see the base is little wider. If you zoom in, base is little wider. So how do I do it? So I just zoom into the model, and this base needs to slightly wider. And I feel this particular loop also is not there, so that I can get the length here. So what for this for modeling? So this is specifically only and only for modeling. There is a brush called Z Modeler, Z Modeler, Z Modeler. This is for modeling. Rest everything is for sculpting. Sculpting, you sculpt everything, paint and drag and click and change things. And this is for modeling, extrude, add loops, remove loops, your like move tool, scale tool, all those things is there in this particular one brush. So this brush is bit like complex. So I'll go step by step. So remember those things. And if possible, you can practice side by side also parallelly on your system. So it will give you better idea. Click on the brush. So you can see the moment you click, the brush changes. Now, if you see, the selection thing is changed. The cursor, if I hover over face, it says Q mesh A poly. Then if you go to edge, it says by default, it's insert loop. If you hold Alt, it will invert this the function. Like same what we do here, add subtract. If you hold Alt, it will become subtract. If you are in subtract, if you press Alt, it will become add. So similarly, this loop is not required. So I'll press Alt, click on this. That loop is gone. Now I need to extend this. So I'll select this particular edge. I'll press space bar, or you can see shift for constant width. If I select this, see, it changes things. So click on this edge, space bar. So new window will pop up. This window is for modeling. So it's basically whichever option you have selected, like edge, face, or vertex. Based on that, it will show edge function. This is only showing edge function. So now what I want to do with this edge, I want to scale the edge, and then this is your function, and this is your this is basically target target of this thing function, and this is your target. Sorry. So this is what you want to do. I want to scale, that is my function, and target is what I want to do is scale the complete edge loop. The entire edge loop I want to expand. Click on this. Now go here, click, see. You can just simply mouse. I'm dragging it and it's increasing the size. Make it slightly wide. So I got this little width at the base. Now, all these like not necessarily things like polygons are not required. So I'll just delete them. Click on the like hover over this edge, space bar. I can use insert, press Alt, remove it, remove it, remove it. Like this, I can remove things, edges very easily. And yeah, remove this also, remove this also. So all the in between loops are gone. But you can see my shape is slightly angled. It's not a straight line. So how do I do it? So first thing, I need to add a loop. Center. So go to edge, click, and it will generate a loop. And position, you can move the mouse without releasing the left mouse button. You can move the edge loop, and wherever you feel like this is correct, keep it there. Now, this base is slightly off center. So I'll go to edge, spacebar again. Now there is an option called move edge. I can move this thing, or auto radius, all these options are there. I can move. So, but this will affect only and only one edge. If you press shift, it will align, it will retain the shape. Volume, retain the volume and move it. So what I'll do, I have to move this in this direction. So how do I do it? So for that, I have to go back to a brush named move. You can see it means literal meaning move. You just move things with this brush. The brush doesn't have any other function, only and only move. So right now, my brush size is really small. If I move it, you can see it move only that section. But if I increase the brush size, you can see from here, I can increase the brush size from here, or I can press space bar and increase the draw size. Both are exactly same thing. This is for more handy shortcut. So I can increase the brush size. So whenever you are moving anything and making things bigger or moving all this thing, always try to use a bigger brush. Or you can use bracket from the keyboard to increase the brush size or decrease the brush size. That is also you can do. So you can see for the same function, there are multiple options are there. Then what I'll do is click and move, click and move. That's it. Move the brush, move the edge, create the angle. We got this angle. And this entire thing is slightly tilted. So go press E, rotate it slightly. Got the rotation. The slightly angle is ready. Now, so blocking is very important. So I am blocking the model right now. So what now I can see there is one shape here. This is a skull, kind of a stylized skull. So 2 eyes, nose, and teeth. So you can create this thing. So how do I do it? I have to manually extrude things and create that, or I can append one more tool. So right now I won't click here. I'll go to subtool, append, and append means import anything into that same scene without modifying anything. So I can append a cube here. So automatically you can see cube is here. So you can see there are 2 different layers. If you select this thing, you cannot touch your cube. So you have to make sure, select the cube and then move it. And you can see you can move with this or this corner, this thing also you can move. So this teeth box is almost the same size. So this is almost the same size. Now top of this, I have little wide box, another box here. So how to create that? So what I can do, duplicate the same box, click on this, select this one, move it up, scale it, and make sure to keep them, they should intersect and should be touch, because later I am going to combine them and convert them into one single geometry. So I placed it here, one box, top of that another box. So here, just give me a second, I open it with a pure ref so I can see this thing better. My document. But I guess I haven't installed pure ref. Okay, let it be. So now I have this shape. So now I want to create this thing. So how do I do it? So first thing first, basic blocking, add the volume, and this part is slightly angled. You can see this part is slightly angled, slant. Base is straight and this is angled. So that is something I can do it like the what I can do is B for shortcut for brush, and you can see the entire window pops up here, and go to move brush, increase the brush size, full brush size, this side, and I can just simply move it up. I can do that very easily, or I can go to this one more brush called trim lasso. So it basically trims your model. So you can see there's a scissor. So to use that brush, you can see whenever you click that brush, it says you have to press Control and Shift key together and then click to use it. Control Shift together. You can see the brush changed. From this point, I can just simply drag and create this angle. And if I leave this, you can see nothing happens here. Because it cut this thing. So if you do it another way, so this is something you have to keep in mind. The direction, in which direction you are moving the brush. If I press Control Shift together, and from outside I drag and then create this thing, it will cut this thing. Arey yaar.